Welcome to the Fantasy Football Press Box with your hosts, Scott Fitzgerald and Sean Clemens.
Welcome in, fantasy gamers, to another episode of the Fantasy Press Box, and brought to you by Sudden Death Fantasy Sports. I am your host, Scott Fitzgerald. You can find me at Run the Hurry Up on Sleeper. That is my co-host. He is Sean Trader Clemens. And how you feeling today, Sean?
Pretty good, man. How you doing? How did that first intro of the new year feel, man? I know you haven't done that in a while.
Oh, yeah, it was awesome. You know, Sean's like 30 seconds before we start. Oh, by the way, you're going to start the show.
Hey, now don't give me that now. We talked about that last week. Now you wanted to start rotating, baby. This is it.
Well, we've been grinding all week. Got a lot of new stuff going on. So we've been at it. We got a lot of these best ball drafts going right now. I think we're through almost through 20 drafts now.
Pretty close.
We did our alpha, and we actually skipped a Charlie because we're doing two different pay platforms, FanCred and League Safe. So we started the Bravos will be FanCred, Alphas are FanCred, and then the Charlies are going to be League Safe. So a lot of drafting, a lot of cool builds. It's nice to get in a lot of these drafts because you can play around with different builds and see where guys are drafting and or where they're dropping, and guys that are rising, and then your league mates, looking at your league mates, thinking, oh, I know this guy's going to take this guy, and then all of a sudden he takes another guy, and you're like, why did he take that guy? But he's doing whatever we're all doing. We're doing different builds. So before we get into it, please like and subscribe to the podcast. We're trying to build up our subscriptions here so we can get monetized, and like we've said before, we're all about the veterans special needs community, so we're trying to get to that point so we can open up super chat.
They don't have to be both the veteran and special needs. You could be two separate communities, one special needs or vet. We will still help any of you guys.
Yes. So how are you? Before we get to the news and notes real quick, how are you liking these best balls?
They're fun. They're a lot of fun, dude. Like I'm definitely enjoying the diversifying, like you're talking about. I mean, we're both playing in quite a few of these guys, and there's a lot of people that are doing the same thing, like you said. So, it's fun to watch it. Oh man, last time they took this guy, now all of a sudden they're going a completely different direction here. And then you get the people that are just kind of like sticking to their guns, which, that's also a strategy a lot of people will take, where they just consistently take the same kind of guys in the same areas and stick with that, right? But yeah, man, most of us are diversifying and in the process taking a lot of snipes and, getting ahead of me, especially you being right next to me in too many drafts. I'm not liking that at all.
I think I just sniped you with Devontae Adams. I saw you had Stafford as a quarterback. I'm like, oh, Devontae Adams is sitting there. I could use another wide receiver. I'll just snipe him up from Sean right there.
Yeah,
But
I wasn't going to bring up any specific ones, but that
one just stuck out about 30 minutes ago.
Maybe that's why you only got a 30-second warning for your intro. I don't know. I'm not saying that they were related, but it could be the case. I'm not going to put myself out there that much, or do I, that kind of thing.
So we got those going, and then we're also launching our dynasties. You guys saw Ken Moore, who was on a few weeks ago when Sean was at the convention. Ken's going to be running our dynasty section, so he's in the process of filling up a couple leagues right now. So if you're interested, it's $50 for year one. We're not making you pay 2 years up front unless you make some trades. So if you like dynasty and you want to get into an early startup, go ahead and you can find us. Before we get into anything, we got to give a big shout out to our Adam Schefter of the show. He goes by Shadows, and he is giving us the compensation information for one David Montgomery.
Right, rolling us right into hot off the press, baby. Right into it with the first update of the day.
And we can say now ex-Lion great David Montgomery is now shipped off to the Houston Texans.
His first time out of that division.
Yeah, for sure. Good point. And the Lions get a 4th round pick, a 7th round pick, and an offensive lineman named Juice Scruggs. So, Sean, what are we doing now with, I mean, it's pretty much been standard. I mean, for the most part in these best ball drafts, it's been like Bijan, then Gibbs. But now is this just solidified? Jameer Gibbs is the number one back off the board.
I mean, not to me. I still think Bijan is ahead of Gibbs. I like Gibbs a lot, but they don't stick with the one back system there really very often. So I anticipate them bringing in some more people in that backfield and somebody who's gonna not maybe as much as what David took, but he'll take a piece enough to where he won't be like at the same, just like he'll be still just kind of like this when it comes to carries and stuff like that with Bijan. So, in my opinion, anyways, like if they go into the season though with the current depth chart at running back and no major changes at all, except for maybe like some older vet comes in, like a Nick Chubb type of guy or something like that. Like if it's anything like that or less changes wise, then yes, I definitely think there's a chance Jahmyr Gibbs is the number one guy, after the draft, right? But right now, it's at this time of the day, I don't really think that there's any way you could put Jahmyr above Bijan yet. It's not solidified.
Well, I'm going to push back on that one because I was asked a question a few weeks ago. Our friend Addie, who helps us out here with our website here, and he asked me the question: what would happen if David Montgomery left? What would
make sure you give him the plug too, because they're over there at League Champ doing some great things, man. So if you haven't downloaded that app, make sure you do. It's League Champ. Type it into your Google Play, your Apple Store, wherever it is you want to go find it, and download that app. It's going to be really cool. Good ranking stuff. A lot of fun things on there.
Boom. Good job, Sean. So anyways, so he asked me who my top two is. Is it Bijan? Is it Jahmyr Gibbs? I said at the time Bijan, and he asked me what would happen if David Montgomery left, and I said then I think it would be time to move on, to move him up to number one. And the way I look at it, the Detroit Lions window of an opportunity to go for a Super Bowl to me is starting to close. You have Jahmyr Gibbs, who's basically entered his prime. He can score anytime he touches the ball, and Bijan Robinson, the same situation, except you have the Tyler Algier, who's always a pain in the rear. That I'm not going to say that's going to cap his upside, but yeah, if the Lions bring in another back, I don't think they're going to be as good as David Montgomery. I don't think that it's going to be that type of a role. It might just be a spell back. So I think this could be the year that Jahmyr just goes completely crazy. They're going to have to. This is the year where you just give them all the carries at this point. So I like Jahmyr number one. It's razor close. But
yeah, I like Jahmyr about as much as your internet connection over there, Scotty. At least to be that far ahead of Bijan, no way. No, it's not that bad. I'm just teasing you a little bit. But no, that definitely, I get why you say that. I just still don't think that he's that close to Bijan. I don't. I like Jahmyr a lot. Don't get me wrong. He's definitely number two. He's 1B, however you want to put it. But I would definitely take Bijan over him if I was drafting still to this point in time. Now watch what happens at the end of the season. What if the Falcons keep Tyler Algier by some crazy weird thing, and then they don't pick up anybody in Detroit? Okay, now you got my attention. I think I have to make that switch, but I'm not gonna know any of that until after April 26th, I think it is. So we'll see how it all plays out, and then go from there.
Yeah, we'll see what happens there. Now Shadow says that he thinks Montgomery was worth a second round. I don't know. I think that might be
what do you think about this like interior lineman though, right? I mean, if he's going to be somebody who's at worst like their first depth guy, then I think that plus the fourth rounder and a seventh rounder is kind of equivalent to a second, right?
Yeah. I mean, Brad Holmes done really good in the draft, so those draft picks could come in very valuable to him. I mean, he ended up, look where he got. He traded up for Tesla, and he's been pretty good, for a later round draft pick. So I trust Brad Holmes to use those draft picks, and he could also use those draft picks to move up. Like he could package him into something and maybe move up a little farther in the draft. So he'll use those as weapons, and so I kind of agree with you. I think like the combination of the player, the draft picks could kind of equal second rounder. So, and like Shadow says, free agency starts next Friday. Let's talk about this one. I know it's not on the sheet, but Shadows makes a good point here, and we're talking about your Buffalo Bills here. The Bills and Eagles are possible landing spots for free agent Mike Evans. I think we've all said that the Bills have to be the spot.
Yeah, no, I agree 100%. I don't see any reason why that's not the case. Like, with the exception of him maybe not wanting to live in the cold weather because of his age and the fact that he's kind of doesn't really have to do that. Like, he could definitely go somewhere warmer if he wanted to, but I don't see that being a deterrent for him. I think he wants a ring. I think he knows that's the best case for him. So, go there, work with Josh, get us a ring in Buffalo. We'll be happy. Yeah, plus he fits us, man. He's kind of got that type of mindset. Everything about him just screams Bills, you know.
Got you. Now, what about this?
Not that I'm biased.
Yeah, no. So I think we both agree for sure. The Bills. What do you think about Aaron Jones being cut by Minnesota? I mean, obviously they'll probably bring another. Obviously they'll probably bring another back in. I thought, maybe it's a salary cap thing, but what do you think about that situation? Obviously they're going to bring somebody in, but what do you think about that backfield now?
I don't know, man. To me, it's more of the same. I feel like, I guess, I don't know. I'm a little more concerned about what's going to happen with Max Crosby, to be honest with you. I'm reading Shadow's comments over here, and it's completely distracting me from the topic at hand because he says Max Crosby and Buffalo in the same sentence, and that to me is distracting enough to keep me from focusing on what you had to say that, and the fact that I'm not feeling great. But man, dude, Max Crosby in Buffalo, that to me is, like I said, it's too distracting not to talk about. Like, I would love that. I think that should be the number one spot for him and Mike. Bring them both in, and then we go from there. But I mean, I'm going to ask you about that one, then we can go back to your other topic because I'm curious of your opinion on where Max should fall. He's got a lot of suitors.
I think there's a team that's not even on that list I'd love to see him go to, and that's come back home where he played at Eastern Michigan. Pair him up with Aiden Hutchinson on the other side. Talk about just a ferocious pass rush. Having Max on one side, Mad Max on one side, Aiden Hutchinson on the other side. I mean, beware quarterbacks in the NFC North. Look out, the Lions are coming.
You always do that, dude. Every time I try to talk about the Bills, hype it up, you go right back to your Lions and just try to take my thunder, bro. Come on, man. You gotta leave me something here, right? I guess you did give me Mike Evans.
Why wouldn't he come back to Detroit? I mean, most of these players, when they get a little older in their age, they always tend to say, hey, I want to go back and play at home in front of my family. And, it's not like the Lions aren't a contender. It'd be different if the Lions weren't, but the Lions, like I said, their window is closing, but it's still open. And, he gets to play in the dome and, and they would love to hear. Like, he would be like God.
This is pretty awesome, Scott, because you were literally frozen for that entire sentence, and the position you were frozen in versus what you were saying created some amazing comedy, and I'm very happy it happened.
Yeah, well, you know what? My internet down here in Florida, like the whole state is out. I don't know why. So yeah, I'm on my hotspot.
Man, I'm telling you right now, like if you talk about like great timing for us to be on there, huh? The internet kicking off, everything else going on, feeling like crap over here. This is great.
Yeah, no doubt.
But we're gonna chug through because we love you guys, and we're not gonna go on without a show. That's 100% never gonna happen. So let's talk a little bit about Psyborg and his March Madness. He was hopefully going to be on the air with us, and he might be able to jump in here a little bit later. But how you think his March Madness pool is doing? Just give me your guesstimation on his total so far.
I'm gonna give you my guess, and then I'm gonna go and look. So I'm gonna say he's probably at. I wouldn't be shocked if he's up to like 50 brackets already. I know he put something in here. He had some stats or something. Maybe I can't find it.
Right. Well, we can wait for him to get here. I mean, I was curious if you had like an off the top of your head, guesstimation.
I'd say he's probably got like 50 brackets. Probably 50 brackets.
Right. So you're saying what? $4,500? because I mean, if brackets are 10 or 20, depending on
that's if everybody got.
Yeah, depending on how much they got, right? If they bought in one for 20 or bought in extra for 10, some brackets are 10, some brackets are 20.
Yeah. Let me check real quick. I think I know I got it in here.
Bottom line is that Psyborg look at him. Here he is, like he's on his way, buddy. 10 minutes, he's gonna give us an answer. You know what, Psyborg? And for the next 10 minutes, we're just gonna sit here and talk mess about you until you get on the air. So you better hurry up and like race it home. Wash your hands, do whatever it is you got to do. Put your shirt back on, crack the beer, get your butt on the air. Because the longer it takes, the more mess we're going to talk.
Yeah, no doubt. Okay, so he's got, I'll burst this bubble a little bit. I was totally wrong. He's got 68 brackets already.
I just said that we were going to talk bad about the guy. Then you go over here and talk about how many brackets he has, like way more than you anticipated. Come on.
I mean, that's 2 weeks before the tournament even starts. So he's on a tremendous pace. So yeah, we'll let him when he gets in here. He can promote his hotter than hell brackets pool. But right. Yeah, it's pretty awesome. So
yeah, I tease, man. Here I go doing the same thing that Scott did and then talk the man up. But yeah, Psyborg is great, man. He does some awesome stuff. He's hilariously funny on his little videos and his clips. Like, I mean, the guy has got the game show host down pat. If there's anybody who should be taking over a game show spot at some point, maybe when Steve Harvey decides to retire, Psyborg could apply for that job. But I think he should definitely be hosting something like a Family Feud down the road. The man deserves it. He's great at it. And if you haven't checked him out yet, please check him out. His videos, he's got a YouTube channel. He's Psyborg here. If you go on his Discord, you get the link. You can do whatever you need to get it. He's definitely worth the listen. His shorts are great. I've been helping him out a little bit with some of the editing and stuff. And, we have some pretty fun things coming up.
Do you have that video? Do you have his intro video?
I could try to. Let's see if we can upload that.
Wait till he gets here, and when he gets on, then we'll play it because it is pretty funny.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome, man. I mean, we might be able just to screen share it for him, but I really want to be able to upload it so you guys can actually hear it. And it seems like it's not going to happen with my computer right now, so I'm having some technological difficulties. So while I'm sitting here working through that, we will go ahead and continue on. Can you hear me?
Yeah, no, we're good.
I love it. Well, all right, no more trying to upload videos during live. We've learned that lesson. Oh man, that was great. All right. Yeah, so when Psyborg jumps in though, we'll talk a little bit more with him and see if we can get him on here and chat some March Madness. But let's move on here a little bit. Let's go over and talk. I'll go back and check the comments before we do that. Make sure there's nothing else to talk about real quick. We're talking about the Giants being heavily invested in the free agent market and the running back market. I'm sorry. That's pretty interesting, honestly. I guess maybe Scadaboo's not healing up as well as they hoped, or maybe there's still more time for him to get back to normal. But that means maybe Tyrone Tracy is an odd man out if they pick somebody else up at some point. So his stock goes down pretty good. Do you got any thoughts about who they might go after in that free agent market, Scotty?
I don't know, but I'm still kind of a Tyrone Tracy guy. I mean, he ran pretty good between the tackles. He can't.
No, I agree. But why would they bring somebody else in?
Pardon me?
Then why would they want to bring somebody else in, right? If they got him and Scat coming back healthy, then
what I'm thinking though is Scadaboo's not, because that was a pretty bad injury that he had. So maybe he's not 100%. So yeah,
that's what I'm thinking too.
That's probably why they're going to be invested, is because he, being a rookie and having a pretty bad injury at the end of the year like that, they're probably they want to probably proceed with caution.
Yeah, it makes sense. Like who would be the guy that they would target, you think? ETN maybe?
I don't know if they're going to go like that, big name.
Oh man, the suspense is killing me. And Scott's wonderful internet is kicking in again. So I'll tell you what he was going to say though. Probably not somebody that I don't know, maybe like I think is it Gainwell that's a free agent this offseason. Sounds like a guy they might go after somewhere in that range. I could see something like that happening. So that would make some more sense, I think, than that other direction. What was the next topic though? Let's move on before Scott gets back so he can start telling us all about it later. Dallas Goedert moving on from the Eagles. Really, definitely. There's a big word in there. Definitely be moving on. That is intense. Dallas Goedert, man, what an interesting guy to have on the free agent market this year. I'm not really sure where he's going to end up going, but that somebody, excuse me, jeez, that'd be somebody I could see going to maybe, let's see, the Giants. That would be, staying in division like that. Giants maybe kicking back at the Eagles after taking Saquon last year. It'd be kind of interesting, wouldn't it? So yeah, that'd be a fun thing to see. Maybe Walker. I guess you were talking about the free agents. We got to talk about Walker too. I didn't bring him up because I didn't think that he would be a target of theirs, being that he might just be too expensive. But I don't know. What does the new version of Scott, who's back online, have to say about Ken Walker as a potential spot for the
All
Giants?
Right. So, yeah, I'm pretty much bouncing it out, but Ken Walker, that might be a little bit too big of a name. I like the one name that you said with the Gainwell.
See,
Gainwell.
I said.
Yeah, I kind of like that one. I don't think they're going to go too
definitely.
big. I don't think they're going to go too big. But yeah, Gainwell would be. I don't know if Pittsburgh wants to get rid of Gainwell. I mean, they liked him there last year, and he actually started outperforming Jalen Warren, because I had him on a bunch of teams, and he was helping me out a lot down the stretch.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, brother? How you doing, Armin? It's good to see you, my friend. That's Armin from FanCred. Another place you got to check out if you guys aren't familiar with FanCred. Armin does some good things over there. It's just a new way for you to keep your money safe when you're playing fantasy football, which we all love. So it's good to see you, buddy. Yeah, man. So beyond that, though, I think that's a lot of our updates there, other than like combine stuff, which we kind of wanted to move into for our second down. So, Scotty, let's start with combine news a little bit here. Shadow throwing in another name, Pacheco. That's another good name for them to target.
Oh yeah, that's another one for sure.
But let's get into some big risers, man. We got a couple guys that we want to talk about, and one of them is Addie's buddy. I say Addie's buddy, right? But Mike Washington, the running back in Arkansas, man, with the blazing 40. What do you think of this kid, man? I mean, do you think he's kind of one of those like sleeper targets that you can get like a later round that turns out to be like a potential super stud top 12 guy going into his next season? As far as dynasty, I guess. What do you think of them, Scotty? Like, do you like guys like that you think are kind of those under the radar-ish type of players, or do you think this is going to pop them right up into that radar?
Yeah, no, those are the guys that you want to take with your 4th and 5th round picks in your rookie drafts. Those are the picks where everybody just like forgets about, and they're throwaways. And those are guys you want to pick up. You want to target guys that have that agility score, the metrics guys. You want to get those guys. Maybe that didn't have like an awesome role at college, or like maybe they were playing behind somebody, or maybe they did have a big year, but it was from a small school. But their metrics are like off the chart, like those type of players, that can block well, guys that could potentially get on the field. We saw it a little bit last year in Brashard Smith in Kansas City. He was able to get on the field a few times when Hunt was banged up and when Pacheco was banged up. So he was able to get on the field a little bit. So those type of players in the 4th and 5th round, I love going and getting.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm excited to see what happens with him moving forward. And, I'm a little, I wouldn't say like, I guess it just, I don't like the attention that this gets him, right? I was kind of hoping that we could keep him a little closer to that under the radar range. Stuff like this kind of brings him out in the limelight a little too much for me. But that's just because I'm selfish and I want to be able to draft him wherever I want and not have people take him before I can get there. Another guy that's probably going to end up that way because of his like ridiculous combine performance is Kenyon Sadiq, the tight end out of Oregon. Talk about him a little bit, Scott. Where do you think this guy's going to fall? I mean, they're comparing him to guys like Kyle Pitts. We've had a lot of top 10 tight ends, top 15 tight ends, even top 20 if you want to go there, that have actually produced pretty well over the last couple of years, early in their careers too, which is used to be something you'd never see. So do you feel like this is a guy that you could take in the fantasy world and be prepared that there's, tight end 1 potential for season 1 out of him?
It all depends where his landing spot is. He's definitely a move tight end, which we're all looking for. He had just an amazing combine, a 91 to 100% score with the 40, the vertical, the bench, the 10-yard, the broad. I mean, all those metrics, he just like blew up. and was in the not like I said 91 to 100% percentile. So he's just an amazing freak. Can catch the ball. I mean, some of the highlights, he's like running down the sideline, hurdling players. And so, yeah, they're comping him to Pitts. I've heard comps of Laporta without the metrics, but as far as like catching ability and run after the catch. So it all depends where he goes. I mean, is he going to go in the first round? I mean, it wouldn't shock me. We've seen how these tight ends, especially the real good ones, the Bowers, the McBrides, Tyler Warren, Loveland, these guys, teams, they're like specialty positions that these coaches use in their offense, and they want to go out and get a guy like this, especially a guy that's really athletic like that and has a freak score like this. So yeah, I could see, back end of the first round, somebody that's like a playoff team that's looking for more of like a luxury pick that they can put into their fit into their offense. I know Hunter Henry's there, but how about the Patriots, man? Give Drake May another weapon, man. Imagine this guy running all over the place.
Don't.
I know
do
you.
that.
I know you don't want to hear that.
No, don't do that to the poor kid. Don't do that to him. They already got Gronk. Don't do that to him.
That would be. That could be a total like. I could see that Patriots. Give Drake May another weapon.
God, I hate to say it, but you're right. That would be a good landing spot for him based on the situation there in the tight end room. He'd be a good fit in there. Have a guy like Hunter Henry to help him along. Yada yada yada. Damn it, I hate you, Scott. Put him in Tampa. Let him go to Tampa. All right, they could use him in Tampa. It's kind of the same thing out there. They got Otten, they got Bake. Let him go to Tampa. I'll be fine with that. And put him in New England. Come on, man.
Yeah, I got another spot too. I know they weren't a playoff team, but they were kind of close. But what about like the Giants, man? Do you imagine? You got Harbaugh over there. He coached Mark Andrews. You got Jackson Dart. They got Malik Neighbors. Stick a Sadiq in there. So that would be pretty nice. Yeah.
That definitely would be we got ourselves a guest here, guys, jumping in. But yeah, you're right, man. That's the other room, tight end room. That would be a pretty good one for him. I absolutely agree with you on that one. Let's bring in our good buddy who runs the March Madness pool. His name is Psyborg. Look at that. There he is. We're not fitting right over there is the one we're looking for. Actually, it's not, but we're going to work with it. Is it this one? Nope, that's not it either, but we're just going to keep spinning us around in circles until we find something that works. That'll be just fine for now, ladies and gentlemen. How are you doing, Psyborg?
What's up, Psyborg?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing, man? Got here quick as I could.
We're having some wonderful times over here. We can't get your video to load. I can't get the right frame in place. It's all working out great for us today.
Oh my goodness gracious! Technical difficulties, I swear. Scott was saying something about Florida internet. Yeah, well, that's Florida for you. You're going underwater in about 50 years anyway. You might as well start planning on it.
That's all right. I'll be dead by then, so it won't matter.
All right.
So what's going on with you, my friend? Now, we took some guesses at where you were at, and then Scott ended up going ahead and figuring it out. So
let me see where I'm at.
You're at 68 brackets. Was that correct, Scott?
I'm double checking here.
That's what I saw. I saw 68.
Man, Scott, man, I'm a ophthalmic technician. I work for an eye doctor, and I strongly recommend maybe going to get your vision checked.
Oh, it must
because
be an update.
I'm looking at 58 brackets have been paid. I've got 22 users have paid 58 brackets, and the pot is now at $800.
Okay, nice. Well, my stats must be bad. I'm just looking at this, looking at this right here, and
you trying to blame it on your technology over there, Scott? After everything we've been through, you're gonna blame your technology?
68 brackets in the pool. That's what it says. But this is his pool. He's got all the inside info. So, I was trying to give you a boost.
Hey, I'll check this out. I've been pulled out of the closet for this special occasion. My classic '90s championship Rockets embroidered shirt, man. Look at this. Yeah, 90s.
That looks like something the assistant coach would wear with some khakis. You know what I'm saying?
You know, when you get my age, you know, you don't really go clothing shopping very much. You only buy what you freaking need at this point. So, you know, I haven't really bought a lot of new sports clothing recently, other than my hat, you know, other than my Cowboys hat right there. Yeah, there we go. But it gets in the way of the lighting here, so I turn it around and, you know, do that. So.
Yeah, well, you guys with no hair on your head, it's pretty easy to rock those hats that are.
Hey, bald is beautiful. Bald is beautiful. I'm telling you, man. Sure. That's why I married the person I married, man. She loved bald people.
See, me and you, we're behind the ear guys, right? Scott is an over the ear guy, you know. So that's a totally different way of wearing a baseball cap. I know we're getting completely off topic here, but you know. I am definitely not. I've never understood the over the ear hat, guys. I've never gotten
the reason why it's over the ear. It's because if I wear it, because I have no hair, so if I wear a hat, and I don't know if you have this problem, Cyborg, maybe not, but if I wear my hat with my ears out, it starts to like rub on the back of my ears and almost like get a blister. So that's why I cover my ears.
Well, that's because you buy hats that are so damn big because you're sticking your ears up in there. That when you don't have your ears in there, your hat's twice the size as it needs to be.
If I don't tuck my ears in, it rubs against my ears, and then my hat starts to like get away from my head.
I do know what you mean though, because when I have short hair, that you know, for all you people out there that haven't known me for longer than the podcasting, I actually haven't had long hair most of my life. It's usually short. And for me to have like, you know, short hair and stuff, I always do get that on the top of my ear if my hat is the wrong size. And like, so, and then when I grow my hair out, my hair is so thick that it ends up making my hats too small if my hair is growing out and so on and so forth. So I'm kind of like in that, like between hat sizes. It's a real pain in the butt. And then they got the flat bill, and the whole flat bill thing ruins it all, because then you got hats that don't really fit properly and so on and so forth. And it's just the whole thing, you know?
Man, I've been bald for about 22 years now, and one thing I've learned is you got to wear a hat when you're outdoors working in the yard and stuff like that, because any little nick by a limb will cut that head wide open. There's no hair there to absorb it. So yeah, I've learned that the hard way, and yep. So that's why you see a lot of bald guys wearing hats. It's not because we're hiding it. You know, we don't care. It's because we're protecting our skin up there is what we're doing. You know, right?
I don't know, man. I seen Scott walking around on the beach and like, you know, chilling and walking around the strip and stuff with me. And that man did not cover that bald head. That bald head was clean everywhere we went, man, reflecting. Some people even kind of, you know, one of those as we walked by. It was he did not have no qualms about rocking that bald ass head outside. No burn, nothing. He made it right through without any issues. So I don't know if he's got SPF 80,000 or what, but yeah, it definitely, whatever he was rocking protected the head from the Vegas sun.
What was that sunblock in RoboCop? A sunblock 2000 or something. It was that blue thick cream, and everybody was blue. That was great.
Scott, I could just see Scott rocking that and walking around looking like Blue Man Group.
No, sir.
Oh, dude. So actually, guys, this is a football podcast and fantasy sports specifically. So just so you know, I know it's been a totally different topic for the last 50 minutes, but you know, hey, that's what happens sometimes, right? You get to talking and you're having a good time, and you know, topics just swap.
That's right.
Let's try to get ourselves back on track a little bit here and talk about Taysom Hill potentially retiring soon. Look at that. You know, Shadow's over here just dropping tons and tons of updates for us while we're over here going on our tangents. And he's got some really good 40 times. Brendan Thomas from Mississippi State with a 4.26 40. That's pretty epic showing there for the kids. Good for him. There's been a lot of good combine performances this year. I don't know if it's just me or if you guys feel the same way, but man, these combines, like this year specifically, it felt like they just were setting records like crazy. First time since like 2003, I think tight ends did what Sadiq did today. You got the Styles brothers out there just ripping it. It's insane, man. And then you've got a couple of guys that really didn't do much for themselves. One of them at the mic, most likely, and the other one out on the field per se. But you know, Diego Pavia, which I don't even know if I'm saying that right, and I don't even know if it matters if I'm saying it right, because the way I don't think he's even going to stick around in the NFL the way that he's making himself out to be right now. he's calling guys like Johnny Manziel his mentor. He's up on the mic talking about how he has 365 more days to mature because coaches said you got to mature at 25 and he's only 24. And I'm like, this is the stuff that you say to the potential new employers. Like, I don't understand that mentality. And I don't know if maybe it's just the old man in me and people not understanding how to interview nowadays, but this is basically a job interview for these kids. And for him to come out, plus he's only 5'8" and a fifth. Like, I'm taller than the kid. Like, that doesn't help your case, to add to the fact that you're also short. So you come in with little man syndrome and little man. It's not going to help you in the NFL, man. It's just not going to do it. So, like, you guys got any kind of like thoughts on this kid at all? Because talent wise, I think he could potentially be like, one of those Doug Flutie-ish types of guys who might be able to be serviceable to an extent, but I really don't see any kind of greatness in him. And now it's like, is he even worth having on your team with attitude like that? And the actual like huge issue that he has to get over is height. That is like nearly impossible to get around. Like, what do you think, Scott? Do you think there's even a shot that this kid gets drafted now?
I mean, he might get drafted, but I doubt it. And if he does get drafted, his mouth will get him in trouble. So, especially if you're letting everybody know that your idol is, Johnny Manziel, and how that guy.
Yeah, I think he tried to say it that way, right? Armin's right. I shouldn't church it up that way for it, make it fit our narrative. But he did say that so he can learn what not to do from Johnny. I mean, really? Dude, honestly, if you're a short guy with a mouth and an attitude, don't even bring up Johnny Manziel. Like, don't even put the comparison out there for people to think. Don't even put that in your minds. You keep that to yourself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure. So I like I said, I don't think that even if he does get drafted, I don't think it'll.
Wait, how tall is he again? What's his height?
5'8",
5'8", and like 5'8", 7'5" or something like that. Like, he's less than 5'9". Like, it's all that matters is the fact that he's playing with guys that are legitimately a foot taller than him standing in front of him. Like, legitimately. Like, it's not like an exaggeration.
Well, wait, there's some short guys. There's some short guys in the NFL right now that are doing pretty good. Who's one? Name an active, like, popular short guy, like a running back or what?
Well, that's different. That's a running back. That's not the guy that's trying to throw the ball.
Well, you should know their Cyborg. Who's that running back? Who's the running back in Dallas? The one that's like 5'7". Who was the coach? Who was one of the coach's sons? That was that.
Oh yeah, that's right.
From Kansas State. Shadows.
Yeah, I can't remember his name right now, but I know who you're talking about.
I have no idea, man.
There was a whole big deal because his daddy got to call him and say, "Yo, drafted, buddy."
Yeah.
I don't know.
Actually,
I can't remember his name, but you're right. Yeah, that was
Deuce,
a little.
Yeah, there is Deuce Vaughn.
Deuce Vaughn.
I'd have never come up with that, man. I didn't really. What was he, like 5'7" or something?
He was like 5'7", and that might be generous.
Right. Who was the little guy back in the day? The little white guy, Danny Woodhead. He was short.
Yeah,
wasn't he like 5'9"?
He was good though.
Yeah, he was. He was talented, little squatty guy, man.
Yeah,
Scattaboo's got that same kind of little squatty guy energy, man. That's just like bowling ball.
Yeah, Scattaboo. What's his height? Is it over?
He can't be much taller than 5'8", 5'9", right?
Oh my God.
Well, the Browns Shadows will probably know right away.
Browns are potential landing spots for Colts quarterback Anthony
Honestly,
Richardson.
it doesn't surprise me. That doesn't surprise me one bit.
Yeah,
I mean that fits.
They want to bring in another
let's,
headache.
Yeah, let's bring in every quarterback that potentially like had some like really good potential at some point in time, and for some reason now they don't. Let's bring them all here and see if we can find one that we can actually fix.
I think they should just stick with Shador and develop.
Right?
I think
they're shopping for quarterbacks at the dollar store, man. What is going on?
Rodgers is going to be on the block, right? I mean,
there's no way he would do it.
Unbelievable, man.
Let's let Rodgers come in and fix the Browns like he fixed the Jets. Okay, why not?
Hey, Sanders is the best quarterback you got. There's a problem. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Dude.
Wait, hold on. Wait, I thought it was the outlook was good for Sanders. What's going on?
No,
I'm
Sanders is
confused.
going to be fine.
bad. He'll be all right.
He
He'll be
had a good
serviceable.
season, man. He's going to be fine. He had a good season.
Yeah, he just
Let
needs
him-
to eat a little bit of humble pie, and he'll be all right. He'll be all
And his
right.
dad needs to work him hard.
No, his dad needs to stay away. That's the thing.
That might be the better idea. Yes.
No, that's a better idea. His dad was getting him in trouble.
No, it's true, man. I mean, his dad's got enough things to worry about right now, too. You know, he's out there getting health problems and, fighting through all that. Like, he got enough to deal with. He don't need none of that stress on him right now.
All right, well, let's talk about another Ohio State wide receiver, Carnell Tate. I know Shadows brought him up earlier, and I think Shadows said, "Oh yeah, here it is, right here." He says, "Don't be surprised if the Commanders go after the Ohio State great." He did run a little bit slower of a 40 time, but I looked at his metrics, and his metrics are still really good, 90 to 90% in the percentile as far as his route running. Short, intermediate, deep routes, and people make a big deal about their hands. He's got 10.25-inch hands, which puts him in the 85 percentile. So, he's got good hands, and they can his comp is Rome Odunze. So, don't be surprised if he could be the first receiver off the board in the draft. What do you think, Sean?
I mean, I think it's pretty much like a done deal, in my opinion, that he's the first receiver off the board. I thought that was already kind of the case prior to the combine. And I don't think he hurt himself too bad with the lower. I mean, I do think the lower 40 time kind of hurts a little bit, but I don't think it's going to drop him down the board that far. I think there's too many, needy receiver teams, and there's too many guys that have seen really good receivers get nicked for something small and then end up being studs. Guys that have drifted down the draft boards because of one reason or another, and then they turned out to be, really, really good receivers. It's happened quite a bit lately. So if they're going to see that, and they're going to look back in the history, if they really need the receiver, they're going to make the move. I think Commanders are the perfect type of team for that. They really do need that extra, receiver to go alongside Terry and to take over for Terry when he leaves, when he gets older. So it's a good spot for them to take it. I thought, I thought Love might be a good pick for them too. So, if they don't go the RB, the wide receiver, I think brings the same kind of juice.
And actually, that might help if he drops out of the top 10. I mean, because he'll go to a better team, at that point. But
yeah, that's how it works for receivers. The farther you drop, the better your chances of getting a Super Bowl, right?
Yeah, for sure. So, but yeah, so there, and then obviously everyone talks about Mendoza, everyone talks about Love, Jeremiah Love. So, Jeremiah Love just ran basically a 4.3. Everybody knew he's going to run that. He's been comped to Bijan, 97 percentile rush, break tackle ability. So, and he's a 78 percentile in receiving skills. So he
makes it out of top 10. No,
I don't think so. I think probably right around 9 or 10. I think didn't we talk about this last week? Didn't we say New Orleans? I think New Orleans.
Yeah, we did.
Smash spot.
Is he related? Is he related to Jordan?
No, I don't think
Jordan
so.
Love?
I don't think
okay.
so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think so. He's way better.
I'm like, okay.
Somebody said, what do you say about me?
Falcons are firing their assistant coach, LaTroy Lewis, after only 2 weeks following rape accusations made against him during his time in Michigan. What is up with Michigan and your coach hiring, dude? You need to fire the guy who's hiring over there in Michigan.
What is up with NFL players and women?
Louise.
Good God.
Yeah, well, I mean, they did the right thing by bringing in Harbaugh. They got a national title, and you know what? This stuff.
Yeah, and then the guy got in trouble and left for cheating.
Everybody
right?
cheats in college. Everybody cheats. It's just some teams get caught.
Oh,
don't.
This is justification for his.
Don't be talking about my Astros.
Oh,
Don't be talking about my
everybody
Astros.
cheats.
That was not
What are you,
cheating.
Patriot
That was
fan,
not
Scotty? Jeez Louise. Everybody cheats. No big deal.
Everybody's cheating.
Just because everybody's doing it don't make it right.
I know you heard the trash can bangs during the
Right.
Astros games, but
Ask
don't.
Pete
That
Carroll.
wasn't cheating.
Ask Pete Carroll if he cheated. He left USC so fast before he got in trouble. He just bolted.
Oh
out
my
of there.
God, man. Here we go. Hey, you know who doesn't have any cheating scandals attached to their name at all? These guys right here on my hat.
Oh, sure.
No
Maybe they should start. Maybe they should start.
Ever.
Give me a
Buffalo
30-second Google search. I bet you I
integrity
find
driven,
something.
baby.
Montgomery's going to take number 32.
What does that
Shadow,
mean?
go find a controversy with the Buffalo Bills. You can do it. Come on.
Don't be trying to tell him to fish for something that ain't there, bro. You send the guy on a wild goose chase like that. You got better things to do.
All right. So you want to talk about
you need to be worried about your bracket.
So let's talk about some risers and fallers here. We got some drafts. Like I said, we got some best ball drafts that have been going. A lot of them have been completed. Some guys that we thought that we see are risers and some are fallers. So some risers I've noticed is obviously Jahmyr Gibbs, especially after today's news and some of the drafts that started early. He's been going over Bijan. Another one I've seen is Trevor Lawrence, with the way he ended the year last year, he's been rising up draft boards. And Chris Olave, he's been rising up draft boards too with the good finish that he had last year. Looks like the Saints have found their quarterback, Tyler Shook, and they found their coach and offensive coordinator. So what do you think about those risers?
Shadow got me. I'm sorry. You're right, Shadow. You're right about that one. I did forget about the old OJ.
That's a big one. That's a big one.
Let me retract my previous statement.
That's a big one. That's a huge one. Yeah.
I think one of the largest controversies ever. You're 100% right. I am 100% wrong. I'm gonna
dude. I watched that live. I watched it live at Chase, man, when it happened, man.
Everybody watched it live. It was on. They
we watched it in my 4th grade science class or whatever it was.
They cut in all.
I was like, not OJ Simpson, the football star. What? Come on. Oh yeah.
Oh man, jeez.
I still can't believe he's gone already.
I got completely foot in mouth on that moment right there. Jeez Louise.
All right, yeah. Thank you, man. Thank you, Shadow. I appreciate that. Yeah, I even forgot about that. Yeah.
Let's get back to talking about these leagues, Scotty. Let's talk about our best ball drafts.
I tried, but Shadow's got you on that one. You got us all.
Ooh, Maxwell Harrison committed
one of these days. One of these days we'll have Shadows on.
Oh my god!
I know he's always here. Where is he? Come on, man!
Get on with these updates right now. Imagine if he was live with us. Holy snikes!
Yeah, get on screen, man. What you afraid of? Are you bald?
I doubt he's afraid of anything. He probably wants to come on the show just as bad as you want him on. Maybe D-Gen's show more than ours though, because he's a D-Gen boy for sure. Which, speaking of D-Gen Fantasy, if you don't go subscribe to their channel, please do, and check them out. They're a lot of fun when they are doing things the way they should be on YouTube. They have a great show.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
For the
inside
D-Gen,
joke, yeah.
Inside joke for the D-Gen crowd. But so Scott, you mentioned a couple of guys, man, but let's talk about some risers and fallers in our Charlie leagues that we've had. That I went through the Charlie, you went through the alphas, and we kind of went through and just pulled some out. And there's a guy that I really want to talk about that's been all over the board right now, and his name is Justin Jefferson. The man is going from mid-first round all the way to the back of the second round. I think the latest I saw him go was 212 to yours truly. I was the one that stopped that slide. But I believe he actually made the turn in another one where he went 3-1. So it's the same difference. But, the man's dropping all the way down to there in the super flex, PPR. Scotty, man, do you feel like that's too low for Justin? Or do you think that that's just right? Or, I mean, where are you at? Where are you at on the bear scale? Mama bear, papa bear, baby bear?
Well, I went through the alpha leagues, which were the early leagues that we drafted probably a couple weeks ago. We finished him off last week. We started him a couple weeks ago, and he's been going basically the middle of second. The players he's been around Usually always goes after Malik Neighbors, which to me, there's no way I'm taking Justin Jefferson over Neighbors every time. So he's going after Neighbors, and then the next receiver to go after him is usually like Nico, like London. I've seen CeeDee Lamb drop quite a bit too, which is crazy. But I still think he's an early second round draft pick. I think waiting for him dropping out of the beginning of the second, to me, I just think is too far. He's still an elite talent. I know they have quarterback issues, and he had a pretty rough year last year with McCarthy, but they've already said they're bringing somebody in, and they're looking to move on from McCarthy. I've seen some reports that they're willing to deal him. So I think they're to the point now where they don't know. I don't know if the organization's they're probably getting something from him. Jefferson's probably saying, look, you got to get me a quarterback, or, I don't want to play here anymore. At that point, I mean, you're ruining the prime years of his career. So they're going to bring somebody in, whether it's Kyler Murray, whether it's Kirk Cousins come back. So they're going to bring somebody in. So I'm going to buy the dip. And if I can get him at the back half of the first round, I'm taking him every time, because I think they're going to bring somebody in to help him, and he should have a bounce back year. So middle of the second, if you can get him in the middle of the second, to me, it's a steal.
I agree. And him dropping all the way to the bottom of the second is definitely down there in the mama bear range. That baby bear is just right. That stuff should be right up in that mid to late first to mid to late second, or mid to early second, right? That should be his range. 1.9 to like, I don't know, 2.3, 2.4, somewhere in that range, I feel like is the right spot for him. Just like you said, sandwich between guys like Amon-Ra and, Neighbors and CD, and then the next tier that's down, which is the London tier. I feel like he's kind of right there, maybe at the back end of that tier, but if not a couple of players up from the back end of that tier. But that's all the farther you can drop him. Him going behind Neighbors, I don't hate it. I don't particularly like it though either. Because he's proven he's not hurt. He's coming into a situation where they will have a better quarterback. There's no way they're going into the season with this situation the way it is. They're already making moves with players, dropping Jones, dropping Hargrave, I think it was, on the defensive side of the ball. So they're already making moves to clear up salary cap space to do something. They're probably going to bring in a guy, like you said, a Murray or a Cousins. Those are the top two targets, I would assume, is one of those two will be wearing a purple and gold next year. So between those two players, I think they give Justin a significant upgrade no matter which one of those two it is. So to me, I think you're right. You buy him when you can. Anywhere beyond 2.5 is a steal.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I seen him in one draft here. He went at like the 3.6. It's like, and I know a lot of the people in the best ball, like I said, we play multiple leagues, so people are trying different builds. So you're seeing players that are like different spots, but there's no way he should even touch the third round. I mean, he shouldn't be there's no way. I mean, I don't know how he went at 3.6 in the last one of our last alpha drafts. It's just like,
travesty.
Are you kidding me? How does he make it that far?
It's travesty.
I know. Yeah. So another guy
who picked him up at 3.6. Did you write down the name? What player it was that in our drafts that got that deal?
It was in Alpha 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. It was in Alpha 10.
Oh, that's the one that's currently drafting right now too.
Yeah, it's currently drafting. So somebody people just forgot about him, I guess. So
I mean, that just shows you the difference, right? Because that's one of the current leagues that's drafting, and some of the other drafts where he went earlier were the earlier leagues. And I know we're getting closer, but they're going to find out what's going on with this really soon. Free agency is going to start next Friday, right? And then we've got, after that, the draft is right around the corner, and that we're going to have these teams solidify. We're going to know who these guys are going to be.
See, that's what makes y'all's best ball drafts now really challenging, because so much is going to change. We don't know what the hell's going to happen. I mean, I almost hate this kind of format, but it's interesting because it's just like rolling the dice, kind of like in Las Vegas, because you don't know what the hell's going to happen,
Yeah, but Psyborg makes a good point, because when people, are afraid and are looking at the narrative, that's when savvy drafters can say, "Oh my God, I'm going to get this guy to steal," and and then you put yourself together a really nice team. I mean, if you take Justin Jefferson in the third round, I mean, your first 2 picks are elite players too. So now you have 3 elite players in the top 3 picks, and potentially probably those 3 players that you drafted, including Jefferson, could end up first round talents next year if they have a bounce back year. So you can get tremendous value. And that's why when people say, why you guys draft this early? Well, this is why we do it this early, to put good teams together and see where the public is on players and the narrative on these players.
Plus, it's fun to not know where the rookies are landing yet, because you can really like sprinkle in some rookies and end up really snagging some great.
Oh no! And let me tell you, there's going to be winners that pick well, right? And you're going to think later on, how the hell did they know that was going to go down like that? I mean,
it's the college guys, man, the Debbie savvy types. They're good at this time of year. This is like where people like me and Scott, who don't really get too heavy into the rookies until right about now after the combine and start to look more into it as we roll into the draft. Like, we're a step behind the 8 ball with these drafts right now. We're definitely a step behind it when it comes to guys that are Debbie savvy, because they've been hearing about these players that are coming out for a few years already. They know a lot more about these guys than most. So
wow,
for them, man, they're sitting there like, oh my, I can't believe this guy's still on the board. And they're that's right. And we're all going, oh, what the heck? They're taking so many rookies. Like, yeah, because these guys.
Yeah, I think I've only drafted like 1 rookie. I think it was Tate, and that I try to stay away from the rookies because, like I said, I'm not super.
They've been dropping so far, man. I got Lemon in a few leagues. I got Coleman in a few leagues because they're dropping like down into the teens.
And there's some rookies that are not available on the sleeper draft board at all. There was a tight end I tried to look up here today at one of those leagues and couldn't find him. He wasn't available, so I had to pick somebody else. So.
Yeah, I think we actually have one league where a guy actually said, like, sub me in this guy when he's available, because he anticipates that this guy will be available. I'm assuming that means he's going to get drafted, and then you'll know he's on a roster and blah, blah, blah.
Right.
But so we got some breaking news real quick. Go ahead.
No. If we got breaking news, go ahead.
Well, it's he's talking Deebo Samuel's not going to return to the Commanders. I know we pulled that up a minute ago. We just didn't get to chat about it. But so where do you think Deebo's going to fall? He's another guy that I wouldn't mind seeing in a place like Buffalo, but New England is also another type of target city that I think he fits into. So, Scotty, do you got any kind of spots for Deebo beyond those couple that I've mentioned now? I'm sure there's a few more out there. Ravens maybe come to mind.
Maybe the Ravens, that could be a good one. Possibly the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers just basically have DK. They don't really have anybody else. So, I mean, those
Cleveland.
Are teams. Actually, but you know what though, Deebo's not gonna. He wants to go to a winner. He's not gonna go to. He wants to go to a contender. He's not gonna go to some rebuild. So, I can see the Ravens. I can see the Steelers.
Help Kansas City. Help Kansas City.
There's always a possibility he could always go back to the Niners. I mean, he could go back to the Niners. Why not? I mean,
if they don't resign Juwan, if they let Juwan walk. They could very easily bring Deebo right back.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah, I'd expect him to go to, Ehrman says the Seahawks.
He wants him. Yeah, hey, dude. I mean, I think the Seahawks are smart to just go ahead and keep Shaheed. I think Shaheed is an addition that could be a huge part.
Wait. Ain't Ehrman a Seahawks fan?
He is.
Yeah. Why do you want? I mean, I wouldn't want Deebo anyways. You have JSN, you have Shaheed, and then you got Torrey Horton, which I love Torrey Horton. I mean, I think he's going to be a really good player in this league.
I do too. I've been taking him where I can get him. He's been one of those my late round targets. So I really do appreciate you bringing him up on the air. Let's move on and talk a little Eagles here, because they're listening to some trade offers about AJ Brown, and as we know, our good buddy over at DJ and Bry has stated multiple times that the Eagles will have so much dead cap they'll have to cut a star player. So is AJ Brown a trade guy, or do you think he makes it all the way to cut status?
I think he's gonna be traded. I do. I think he's gonna be traded
all the way to
I
cut.
don't think they're gonna let him.
Away.
They'll be able to get something. Your Bills are looking for a receiver. I know you said you don't like AJ Brown, but
I mean, hey, now we don't have that McDermott culture driven style that's going on right now, at least not to the same level that McDermott was holding people. So I feel like maybe he does fit the new regime better, I guess. I'm not 100% on that or not, but he's a good player, and I'm not going to hate it if you bring in somebody like that. He reminds me of like an Eric Moulds type coming over and being able to play that type of role that Eric played for us for all those years. And I mean, that was my first jersey. I love Eric Moulds. He's great. So I would love to see somebody else out there running people over like that again. Bring him and Debo over there, man. Let's make it all around the board, dude. Go from the smallest to the biggest wide receivers,
Yeah. So I mean, AJ Brown still has a few years left in him.
Yeah.
And he's going to want, he's the same thing. He's a polarizing player. He's kind of obviously he's a diva. He's going to want to go to a, competitor, a team that's ready for to make a playoff push. So he's not going to go to a rebuilding team. But the problem is he going to be okay with the quarterback? Is he going to have problems like he did with Jalen Hurts? I mean, if he goes to Buffalo, they're not screwing around. Josh runs the show. So you better just keep your mouth shut, play ball. Same thing with Baltimore. If he goes to Baltimore, you can't be button heads with Lamar. So, he's going to have to try to fit in the quarter, with the quarterback. But like any diva receiver, as long as they get the ball, they're pretty much happy. So I think he just wants to get out of the shadows of, DeVonta Smith. And if he goes to a team where he is going to be the focal point of the offense, like a Buffalo, where he's going to get all the targets, I think he'll be fine.
Yeah. No, I think AJ Brown would be a welcome addition to a lot of locker rooms. I talk shit, but if his talent does trump his attitude, as long as he can get the ball and stay happy, he'll be a good player to have on your team. So he's still got a good few years left in him too. I think he's only turning 28 this year, maybe. So it's not like
I took him in a couple of y'all's drafts already. Yeah, I took him. Sure did. I believe in him.
He said, "Sure did." Scott tried to stack him with Jalen Hurts, and then here we are talking about him not even being in the Eagles anymore. That's going to take all that luster away from those picks.
Yeah. Huh? Well, he's another guy that was kind of dropping in these drafts, and I mean, for the chance, I mean, he's not out of Philly yet, so I mean, he could always come back and he'd be a good stack partner for Jalen Hurts. But AJ's been dropping in these drafts and been picking him up in the 5th round, and so. But another guy I want to talk about, because he's been dropping quite a bit for the way the format that we draft, which is super flex, and that's one Patty Mahomes. He's been just free falling these drafts. Now, obviously,
that's crazy.
Towards ACL, and but he's a guy that likes playing hurt. He says he's going to be there week 1. So are you? I mean, some of these. I mean, like in this one league, 312. Come on, man, 312 and a super.
We got him all the way at 4-8. Tomcat 12 got him at 4-8 and Charlie 5. That's insane.
Yeah, that's too prejudgmental.
5-10, 5-3. He went in this league.
Unbelievable. Oh yeah, that was the one that SD Bolt Stan I think got him at 5-3. Right.
Yeah, 5-3. It's disgusting. Insane. So 4-9 in another league, 5-4.
I mean, he's going at like quarterback 12, 13. He's going in the same areas like Mendoza. Like, it's insane.
That's insane. And I know you agree with me, Sean. You agree with me on that. That's insane. I mean, come on.
Well, and like and we'll tie in his running mate there, because for different reasons, he's also dropping in drafts, and Rashee Rice, man. And if I'm getting the Rashee Rice and the Patrick Mahomes stack at the 5-6 turn, I'm happy as hell. Happy as hell. Like that.
Man, I've been avoiding Rice because
a lot of people have.
I mean, because of the suspension kind of thing that may happen again. I mean, it's.
But that they had that same situation, and then what did he do? He ended up playing most of the rest of the season, anyways. At least the fantasy season, because
it ended up working out. Yes.
They don't do anything until the legal system is played out, and I don't think there's any, kind of dates on the horizon yet for that scenario getting to that point. And we're still a ways away from the start of the season, but if it drags its way on like court battles do, and gets to the point where the season starts before anything is, resolved.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if it doesn't do the same exact thing and go so far into the season that either happens after fantasy's over or even next season.
Yeah, so Shadow says he's getting sued currently, which I hate when that happens every time.
Shadow, thank you for making me feel a
Who
little
in the
better.
NFL isn't? Who in the NFL isn't?
Yeah, he pretty much just shot down your whole speech there. I'm just saying.
So what about this one right here? So do the Cardinals stick with Jacoby Brissett as their starter or draft a quarterback?
It's a good question.
Or bring in a quarterback.
Well, who are they going to bring in, right? I mean, if they let Murray walk, you're going to bring in like the Timu Murray and Tua. Like that's not going to get you
what's up with
anywhere.
Murray?
So
What's up with
I would
Murray? Is he
assume
done?
no, he's done in Arizona for sure because he's worn out his welcome. Too much Call of Duty and Xbox and not enough playbook. But I just think that Kyler is out the door, and there's really nobody on the free agent market that's worth bringing in that you wouldn't say is just a stopgap, right? So at this point, I think they go ahead and bring in or let Brissett play it out. Don't bring in anybody, but let Brissett play it out and maybe draft a guy, or wait till next season and look to try to draft somebody next year. Because what do we got? One quarterback that they're hyped up over this year, unless they see somebody that's on the rough style.
Yeah, there's Simpson. There's
Nutsmeyer.
I mean, they could draft somebody like that, but who knows? I mean, I think they'll just bring in. They got Brissett. He and they'll probably just bring in somebody just another guy that's just going to back up Brissett.
Oh, yeah, they'll just have a backup. Maybe he'll draft somebody in like the 4th round or 3rd round, but it won't be somebody like that'll be a guaranteed like future player for the future starter for them.
And then the offense, that might even be different because didn't they lose their offensive coordinator? So if I remember right, so what's that offense going to look like now? Last year it was a great offense for fantasy because you had McBride and Michael Wilson, and I mean Harrison started getting it going, and in the beginning of the year before he got hurt, James Conner was having a great year. But what's that offense going to look like now with a different coordinator? And
isn't Michael Wilson moving on too? Isn't he? Well, he's a free agent, I think, right? So there's potential that he gets signed elsewhere also.
I mean, one other guy we haven't even talked about a drop. I mean, Marvin Harrison, he's not even on the radar anymore in these drafts.
I know.
He's just
shocking.
He's forgotten.
Even in Dynasty, dude. Even in Dynasty, he's dropping. And I got him in a Dynasty startup the other day, and I feel like it was like the 4th round that I picked him up in a Dynasty startup. And I'm like, I can understand that he had a down year, but dude, the guy was the 101, like consensus 101 coming out in school, and his talent is astronomical. I'm not giving up on him at this point. Like if he's in the Dynasty league, if he even has like 80% is his ceiling of what we initially thought, that's still a wide receiver 1. So I'm definitely fine with snagging him in the 4th round.
Yeah, the pedigree alone, his father played in the league, and it's not a guarantee you're going to play like your father, but he's got the pedigree. So, and then Shadow says Wilson is not a free agent, so he's staying there. But Shadows makes a good point here. They can go get Tua to back up.
Yeah, but why bring in the Timu Murray after you just got rid of a guy who's very similar with less concussion problems? Like it just wouldn't make sense to me to go and get a Tua. It wouldn't be worth the money, right? Unless they can get him cheap.
Oh, it would definitely be cheap. They're not going to give him
because how much better is he than Brissett? I think Brissett beats Tua out if they have a legitimate competition.
No, Brissett would definitely be the starter, but I mean, it would be he would just be obviously just the backup, and then I mean, Tua's looking at a backup career. I mean, especially with this concussion.
Tua probably ends up here, dog. That's what I think. I think they draft Mendoza and they sign Tua. That's what I think.
Oh, the Raiders. Got you.
Yeah. I say here, I'm wearing all the Bill stuff in Vegas. I should have said.
I agree with Shadows. I don't know if he's going this route, but I don't see Harrison staying in Arizona like his whole career. I think by 2028, he's gonna he's not going to resign and he's going to go somewhere else.
Now, we've said this like 5 times on the show. I hesitate to say it again, but I'm going to do it anyway because this is the guy that I really want the most to come to Buffalo. I would love Buffalo. I'm totally fine with Buffalo giving up their 1st and 4th rounder right now to get him. Totally fine with that. Give him our 1st and 4th rounder this year to get Marvin Harrison on our team, and I'm stoked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because you guys can't draft receivers, so you might as well trade for him.
Dude, I'm saying, man, I don't care. I'll trade for Harrison talent-wise, man. You put him with Josh and let them grow together, in a
Burn.
Burn.
Is that a hotter than hell? Is that a hotter than hell quote right there?
Burn hotter than hell.
See, this is what you guys are missing if you're not watching Psyborg Shorts. Besides, he has this really new, awesome intro video that I tried to download so that I could play it for you guys, but I can't.
Oh yeah, you hadn't played it yet? I thought y'all played it.
I can't get it on here. It won't. I tried to, and my computer's messing up. It's part of our wonderful day that we're having right now.
It's a Monday. See, y'all have y'all show on Monday. It's a Monday. I mean,
yeah, this is definitely an Office Space day right now. Somebody's got a case of the Mondays, baby. And it's my computer, I guess. I don't know.
It's the internet, man. Just blame the internet.
Yeah. So, Scotty, before we finish it up here, was one last thing I wanted to do was kind of pick a favorite team out of all of these that we were drafting. We got some really good drafters here. We got a lot of guys that have drafted some really solid teams. And there's also some leagues that guys have gotten some steals, like we talked about with the Patrick Mahomes pick in 5-3. Which team out of the ones that you were able to kind of glance through while we were doing our little pregame, and do you think kind of had so far just kind of maybe stands out a little bit more? Actually, you know what? I'm going to give you the opposite. I'll take the standout crowd one. You give me the worst team out of all of them. I want you to start with that.
I thought you wanted me to go and out of the teams that I've drafted, pick the team that I don't like.
You did, yeah. I switched it up on you, and then I switched it back on you because I realized it halfway through my sentence. But yeah, so yeah, you're the one that does I'm the one that's doing the good team. You're the one doing the bad team. I forgot we were bad cop, good cop in it. But so I guess I'll do good cop first then. And I was gonna do good cop, and I'd give it to a guy that you guys would have never anticipated because you know I don't like to hype this man up. And if I ever get the opportunity to not hype up a team that this gentleman drafted, I will take that opportunity. But I just feel like I have no choice but to give this man props in what he did in Alpha League 5. And Scott, your team is pretty damn good in that league, and I can't stand it. I'm in that league 2 picks away from you. I think you did a steal of a job the way that you drafted that league. I know a lot of you might not see what I'm seeing here, but I'm looking at a team that I think has potential to take it all. And I'm talking take it all. I mean, not just the one league they're in, but the bracket of 16 super teams that's going to happen at the end of the season. So, I mean, he started out with Jahmyr Gibbs. This is 0-1-7. He's in the 7 hole, first and foremost, which seems to be kind of a sweet spot right now this year. He got Jahmyr Gibbs that fell all the way to 1-7. That guy literally just went 1.1 in the league a minute ago. Plus the trade the other day just jumps his stock up as well. So there's no way he would have fallen to 1-7 had that been the case before this draft started. I can tell you that for sure because I would have definitely not let him drop past me at 1-4. But let's talk about the next pick. Christian McCaffrey at 2-6 was his next pick. And, a lot of people might not like that he took him ahead of a guy like Ashton Janty and a guy like Jonathan Taylor. But what he did in round 3, coming back around and stacking him with Brock Purdy at 3-7, I know that's a running back quarterback stack. But if you're going to running back quarterback stack, that's the running back quarterback stack you want. Because McCaffrey catches just as much as he runs. And that's going to be a great way to kind of build some of them double scores on your fantasy team. And we all know best ball, that's the way to roll. We follow that up with 2 more quarterbacks, which we know in Superflex we'd like to make sure we have at least 3 good ones. So he had Dak and Stafford hit him at 4, 6, and 5-7 respectively. I like both of those picks. I can't believe that Stafford made all the way back around to 5-7 after Dak went at 4-6. But hey, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. So he was able to roll through that. He went and got his first tight end in the round 6 at Tyler Warren, which thought was a really good time to take one since he was still sitting there. And then Devontae Adams at 7-7 to stack with Matthew Stafford. That one stuck in my craw. I didn't like seeing him get that, but he did. It is what it is. And then how the heck does Tucker Kraft fall all the way to 8.6 where he still gets to stake him in this 0.5 TEP? I have no idea, but that's what happened. And here we are with him having Tyler Warren and Tucker Kraft all ready to fill out a really studly tight end room. Rolls right on into Cortland Sutton, Jacoby Myers, Chuba Hubbard, Travis Kelce, Jalen Coker, Josh Downs, all good players. As long as Kelce plays, I think he'll be able to really look at that tight end room without any concerns moving forward. But he says, I don't care. I want to get one more good tight end, and goes out and gets Juwan Johnson in round 15.7, which, by the way, you want to talk about some steal. Juwan Johnson in a TEP at 15.7 is ridiculously good. You should not be able to get that guy that late, in my opinion. Dylan Sampson, Trey Tucker, A.D. Mitchell, Keaton Mitchell, Devin Neal, Christian Kirk, Jalen Naylor, Mike Gesicki, Isaiah Bond, and Tez Johnson rounded out the rest of his roster. All good depth pieces there. A lot of guys that cover some of his other people ahead of the game. So, my opinion, Scott takes the cake in Alpha League 5 with that squad and all of his super stacks. Scott, if you brag about this for too long, I'm just going to kick you off. So I'll give you about a minute.
Give him a pound cake. That's a pound cake. That's it.
Well, I'm not going to brag about it. I'm just going to say that I'm going into these best ball drafts. I'm just trying to collect value where it's there, and then not to go out of my way for stacks, but to win these best ball events, you have to. I always say you want to make sure you get stack three offenses, like three really good offenses, and that should. So I figured, with San Francisco, Dallas, and the Rams, those would be three good offenses. And I wasn't able to get any Dallas players, but I was able, like I said, to stack McCaffrey and then stack Devontae Adams with Stafford. So, and then just, grab a couple tight ends. I know it's only 0.5, but guys like Warren and Kraft that can catch, 70 passes, you add another 35 points on to that. Now you're over 100 points in just receptions. So,
both Warren and Kraft have a chance to be tight end one. They really do. I mean, they both had good offenses, and they both really were targeted quite a bit.
Yeah, but and a lot of, I might have got some of these players because, we did had quite a bit of timeouts, guys that just timed out and they just got the next player, which ended up always seems like on Sleeper, it always ended up being a rookie. So like they would end up getting timed out.
So, no, right.
They would get a rookie, and then some people are trying to build different teams, so, but no, I was happy with this team. I didn't really even look at this team. There's another team I thought was pretty good, but there was a team that I drafted that I thought was really bad. So I'll just go for that one, and you guys can let me know if that was a bad team or not. But
so you're gonna pick yourself for a bad team?
I didn't know you were gonna pick me. I didn't know you were gonna pick me as a good team.
I wouldn't have picked you if I'd have known you were gonna pick yourself as the bad team. Now we're just gonna talk about you twice.
I thought the exercise was you were gonna pick a team that you liked, that was your team, your favorite team, and then I was gonna pick a team that was like one of my bad teams.
No, it was your favorite, like just your opinion favorite, not your actual team favorite.
Oh well,
it's okay.
I
want to hear you drag on yourself anyways. So let's go ahead and listen to that, because we just gave you all that hype that nearly made me throw up in my mouth. So I'm much rather hear you talk about how bad your team was now and give me a little bit of reprieve.
Okay, so all right, I gotta find it now.
I tease, but I do like to mess with Scott, but we all know how much we love him.
All right, this was the very first draft that we did, and seemed like I'm always getting these late draft picks. So this one started off great. With the news that we just got today, I'm picking in the 110. This is Alpha 1. And I get Jahmyr Gibbs that drops all the way to 110. So
get out of here, really?
You were supposed to be talking about one of the worst teams you got, and you're talking about the beginning with Jahmyr Gibbs dropping to 110. Are you?
Hey, he's bragging. He's bragging here. Let him brag here. That's okay.
He's not supposed to be the bragger, though.
It actually gets it does get kind of bad though. So it comes around in the second round, and
can't get better.
I was so upset that Jalen
wow.
was taken. I took a chance in the early second, took Jackson Dart as my quarterback 1. So I took Jackson Dart as my quarterback 1. Still on the fence, new coach. I'm hoping for the upside. And then in the third round, I grabbed controversial Rashee Rice. So we all talked about Rashee Rice.
Oh, wow.
Controversial Rashee Rice. Then I ended up picking Stafford. Stafford in the next round. Could have been maybe a tad early, and I was able to get Devontae Adams in the 5th to stack him. But this is where I think it kind of went downhill. I ended up taking Shook in the 6th as my third quarterback, with Quinshon Judkins still there, Ken Walker still there. I could have probably went that route, but I wanted to make sure I got my third quarterback. Then I ended up with Waddle, which we don't know what's going on at quarterback there. I came around with Kyle Pitts. I probably could have waited and maybe got somebody else down the road, Goddard or Strange or something like that. But Pitts had a pretty decent year. Is he going to come back to earth? I don't know. Then I went with Pollard, Hubbard, Godwin, Jennings, Tootin, Kelsey, Tracy, Coker, Sampson, Tucker, Mitchell, Mooney, and then just a bunch of randoms on the way out. But I didn't really like that team at all. I just think it's okay, but it's not really good. I kind of left myself really thin. I think at running back and I don't know. I don't like drafting in the back end of the first round. Trying to get in the early. I think I only have one team in the top 5 where I drafted in the top 5. Everything else has been at the end, and I don't like my team builds. And the one team I do like that I would have bragged about, the one team I would have bragged about, I think I had the 4th overall pick.
Scott, you just talked about 2 of your teams. We're going to talk about a third one now?
No, I don't talk anymore about them at all. So I don't know, but a lot of these drafts turned out really well for a lot of teams.
If you guys didn't know, you're tuned into the Scott Fitzgerald Giraffe Happy Hour.
So
where all we do is talk about Scott Fitzgerald's drafting.
What about you, Cyborg? Cyborg, do you like your drafts?
It's gone one way and the other. At some point, it's tough because like I said, man. I mean, you don't know where these people are going, and I'm like, why? And I'll do a couple of. I got a couple of sites I look at for advice, and sometimes I'm just like, what?
What's funny is you could tell Cyborg because in the morning he drafts good, and then as the day goes on and he drinks more, worse and worse. So you can tell which rounds were.
Oh yeah, man, drafting when I'm at work. I'm trying to squeeze in between patients and stuff. I'm like, fuck.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll bring up a draft right now. I'll bring up one of Cyborg's drafts. It's the same Alpha 1, so this is the first draft that kicked off.
Oh yeah.
And you drew the third spot, and you ended up it went Josh Allen and Jane Daniels, and you ended up taking Drake May, which I think's the right move. So you take Drake May as your quarterback 1, came all the way back around, and you were able to grab Jonathan Taylor, which I think was really good pick right there. I know some people probably would have preferred a Chan or James Cook, but I still think Taylor's an elite back. Then you were able to come around and get Nico Collins, which was nice. Able to get AJ Brown in the 4th.
Yeah.
Got Goff in the 5th.
I'm liking it.
Quarterbacks. ETN in the 6th. And I really like this pick right here, the Harold Fannin pick, and a 0.5. I like that Harold Fannin pick. You able to get Terry McLaurin, and then I want to talk to Sean about Malik Willis. What do you think about Malik Willis? Seeing he's getting drafted pretty early, he's a guy that could find himself a new home.
Oh yeah, he's probably going to be a starter somewhere this year. I'm not sure exactly where that'll be, but I think he'll start. Depends on how the quarterback carousel falls. Arizona is a place that could be looking at a guy like him. I don't think he'll be in the he's the apple of some eyes right now because of what happened with him stepping in and playing well. And, you know, he did coming out. He was considered like one of those raw talents who, if he was able to fine tune his game, he could be a hidden gem. So I think that there's potential that he ends up getting signed somewhere with the intention of having him start and not just place hold, like with the intention of having him start and see if he can become that player for them. So the teams like, you know, the Arizona Cardinals, if they decide not to go with the draft route, I think that's a really good target for him. The Atlanta Falcons, if they don't get their target in free agency, because they've been talked about wanting to chase down a quarterback after cutting Cousins loose. So, you know, that's another team that could look at somebody like him. I just think that there's enough teams out there, Cleveland, so on and so forth, Pittsburgh, if Aaron don't come back, yada, yada, yada. All those teams are kind of in that boat where a guy like Malik Willis is a definite upgrade and he's not going to cost $1 million. Well, right. It'll cost $1 million, but he's not going to cost a bunch.
All right,
multi-million. I know what you mean.
I just want to go over one more team before we break out. And same.
Scott, see, Scott's mad because we talked about Scott for 30 minutes. Now he wants to make sure we get somebody else in there, which is what he should.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the right thing. I didn't start this conversation. You did.
Trust me, if I'd have known you were picking your own team, I would have talked about somebody else.
But we'll talk about Trader Clem's team real quick. He had the 1-7, and I love his first 3 picks. He got Jamar Chase at the 1-7, which is, you know, great spot there. Now we talked about Justin Jefferson. He got him at a steal at 2-6. So he's stacked. He's got his two receivers. Then he comes back with the Brocknitz monster, which is tremendous pick right there. Love that pick. Now this is where I want to get your take on one as your RB1 Jeremiah Love. So you go and grab a rookie. Rookie is your running back 1 over like Bucky Irving, over Chase Brown, over Kyron Williams, over Derrick Henry.
That must have been a late night pick, man. A late night, you're like ready to go to sleep.
No,
I'm going to give you time to defend yourself.
So, who are they comparing him to again, Scott? Who was the comparison Bijan coming out? Is it Bijan? Is that what it was, Bijan? Oh, okay. Bijan. Let's see. Where did Bijan go? He went at 1.5. Okay, so compared to Bijan, and I got him at 4.6, and Bijan went at 1.5. I feel like maybe I might be doing a good job there getting him at 4.6. I mean, I could just, you know, I might be, you know, just kind of pie in the sky here, but you know, there's an option that guy ends up being better than, you know, say the 7 guys that were taken ahead of him, 8 guys taken ahead of him.
Yeah. Well, his metrics are good. He could be a stud coming up, but like I said, it all depends where he goes. If he goes to New Orleans, then I think that could be a really good pick. But no. So those are some of our best ball drafts. I know we're getting short on time, but one more thing I want to I know a lot of people aren't thinking about this now, but this is for your soccer player. This breaking news that Kylian Mbappe suffered an ACL injury in the left knee and likely going to miss the World Cup. He is the French star midfielder, I think it is, or striker for France. That's a huge blow to Team France coming up in the World Cup in the United States. So, you soccer fans, that's a huge blow. That's like losing like Bijan for the year. So, huge injury there. And
I will be running a World Cup pool this year. Yes.
Yes, we will. Cyborg's our pool guy. Also, NBA, he'll be running an NHL pool. So we got some
NHL, yes. NBA, yes.
Yes.
All coming to you.
But yeah, so please like and subscribe to the podcast. Really helps us out a lot. And if you guys are looking for early best ball drafts, you guys can go to our website, sdfantasysports.com, and find all the information there. Sleeper platform. We're on, you know, Sean at Trader Clem. Scott at Run the Hurry Up. You could even message Psyborg if you'd like. You know, we got a March Madness pool coming up. Should be, what is it going to be this year? 10K? We're going to be at 10K. Cyborg?
That's what you said. But you know, hey,
well,
there's a lot more. Hey, there's a lot more competition out there, guy. A lot more competition. It's
Wow,
probably,
look
you know,
at this
when I
guy
started this, there was
backtracking
only a couple of
already.
other guys. There's only a couple of other guys running pools. So now we got all these people and groups running these pools. So
That's all right. We know with the good crowd out there, we'll get you pretty close. We'll get you pretty close.
You hear that, guys? We can't let him back up like that anymore. We gotta help him out here. If you're not in Psyborg's bracket, get your butt over there and sign up for it. It's gonna be great. You know, I think, come on, you know, $40 you get 3 brackets, $40, and you get to try to win yourself a nice big fat pot for it. He doesn't take any rakes. He does this for fun. So go over there and make sure you support him. And you know, like I said, all his videos and everything else are all a lot of fun to watch. You know, a lot more entertaining than my sick ass today. So guys, I want to get out of here. It's running late, and I'm definitely feeling like I've been on the air for way too long today. Do we got anything else we want to say before we wrap this up?
No, not until next week. Same time, same place.
That's right. Everybody stay safe out there. Have a great week. We will see you guys soon, and make sure you sign up for Psyborg's March Madness bracket. What's it called again, Psyborg?
Hotter than hell.